Hi, everybody. This is Swine Repellent here. Um, I understand a lot of the auditing is upset with me. That's perfectly okay. I've gone through issues like this my whole life, because if I see something that is not right, or if I see a better way to do something, that I'm going to do it. And I don't care who says what or what happens. I feel I'm right. I know I'm right. I'm going to do it. So this is going to be my last video on the whole, why did I call situation, but it's pretty simplistic, why I called, and then I'm going to move on. I'm going to focus on my live shows at night, and, I can't audit for a while. And, when I get back to auditing, then I'll go back to that and still do the live show at night. But my point to this is, and I'm really tired of having this a conversation, but the reality is this, very simplistic, is a lot of auditors in the community are pissed that I called the cops on myself and an auditor. Okay, I don't understand, but I try to respect, and I your guys' viewpoint, I try to understand, even though, it's not communicating, it's not computing with me. And so basically, why I will continue to do that, I'm not apologizing like others who have done this. If my channel goes down to zero, I don't care. Then I'll start over, I'll do something else, and, I can get back to life. Because, like, having a YouTube channel, really takes a lot of time out of one's life. So the reason why I called the police is very simplistic, is I believe in a full audit. I believe that I, as an auditor, have an obligation to all my viewership, to the Constitution, to the community that I'm auditing, to make sure that they don't have tyrants in their town, and to myself, and just to the overall uh, good of things. And so, I know a lot of auditors, they choose to live in La La Land. And so, I feel personally that if you don't get the interaction, okay, so it's not like on my calls that I have made, it's not like I'm saying, hey, there's a guy with a gun. No, it's simply saying, hey, there's a guy in a mask, or there's a guy taking photographs. If you guys want to come, great. Don't. I'm just telling you what I'm observing. And so it's one thing for me to instigate the actual situation and to get a code 3 a response. But when I am simply saying, hey, here's what's going on, and you guys should check it out. So the onus at that point is on the dispatching staff, that they need to ask questions upon if, hey, Steve, I'm trying to just do this real quick, and then I got a long-winded here. The onus at that point should be on the sheriff dispatchers. And so they should have asked, hey, is the person doing anything wrong? Are they on public property? What's going on? And me and other auditors finally, over the course of freaking months, have got LaPorte County to finally start asking these questions. And finally, through the course of court hearings and every freaking thing else that's gone down in LaPorte County, finally we've got them, as in their dispatchers, to finally start asking the correct questions. Okay, so then St. Joseph County, Indiana, they need to start doing the same thing. And so if the dispatchers on that ominous day, and days actually, would have asked simply, hey, is the individual or individuals, are they doing anything wrong? Okay, no. So, we probably don't need to send law enforcement. So then the other onus is on the actual cops who showed up. I mean, I don't know if anybody saw the two videos, but it's egregious. And so the cops totally need to understand that, wearing a mask and that type of behavior that we did down North Liberty, and I'm going to go back at some point. I'm going back until they stop this nonsense. So if that takes me getting arrested again, then that's what it takes. It's for the cause. It's for the First Amendment. And so my overall point to this is, I as an auditor, I have to do a full audit. And so I guess my definition of a full audit is, I have to get the response so I can get a good reaction, a bad reaction, and I'll post everything, a good reactions, bad reactions. But, I don't think there's anything wrong with this practice, and, I'll continue to do it. And so I'm not apologizing to anybody. I'm not kissing anybody's ass, and, I'm going to continue to do it. And, I've noticed that some of my viewership is gone. Good, go. If you don't like honesty, if you guys don't like somebody who is here for you, who will go to the ends of the earth and who will do the right thing, then I think you should leave my channel and never come back. So that's basically, why I called the police, and I'll do it again. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I think all auditors who don't do that are doing their viewership a disservice. I think all of the myopic minions out in the community who think there's a problem with it, I think you guys need to go drown yourselves or do something productive with your time. And I think also that, as much crap as I have gotten over the last, I'd probably call it 72 hours over, just actually being honest, then, I think the movement, as people refer to it, is in trouble, because there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, folks, that are dishonest and that, I don't agree with. And so because I didn't kiss the appropriate asses or one big ass, then I'm ostracized. I'm okay with that. And so if the community were truly honest, they would, all of them would stand behind me and say, you know what, this practice does go on. Some of us agree with it, some of us don't, but it does go on. And in my civil case in North Liberty that I'm going to get working here, I'm going to subpoena certain auditors that I know for a fact has done this before. And if they're going to lie, on the witness stand, there is other evidence I can bring, to show that this is a common practice. And there's nothing wrong with it as long as the auditor or the person calling law enforcement does not actually break any, excuse me, any laws. And I don't break any laws. I don't false report. I don't incite violence. I don't do anything wrong other than simply say, hey, there is a person or people taking photographs. And so I just think it comes back to there's this unwritten rule someplace it is unwritten someplace, and I violated a unwritten rule, and I don't care. And so my goal is to hold law enforcement accountable. It's to uphold and respect the First Amendment, and it's to basically every time I do an audit, I try to get better, and I'm trying to get better every time, and I put my heart and my piglet, I guess, mind, or my swine mind into this. And, I value all of my subscribers, all of you who really understand what's going on and what I'm trying to do. I would rather have 200 subscribers who are loyal, who know what's going on, rather than, 1,000 who are just, don't know what the hell's going on. And so I pissed a lot of people off, and I'm not apologizing for it. And, it's going to continue this way until, and I mean this way as in, there is a faction of this community, big names who have been doing this for a long time, who think that auditing should be done in a certain style. And I'm of the opinion, I think every auditor should be able to audit how she or he wants to. And my auditing style is very simple. That, I'm going to get that interaction to get a positive or negative or whatever the reaction is. I, as a journalist, I, as a person who owes it to everybody who invested me, I feel that if I did not do that, I'm being a scumbag, that I would be dishonest, I would not be doing a good job. So you see these audits and you see these auditors. I mean, it's thousands of these audits. You can look up audits that got a pass. And so these auditors, it's something about how these how their mind, just doesn't fire on all cylinders. And there's thousands of these auditors, who just don't understand. They don't get it. That if you don't have the contact, does not mean it is a pass. It just means, that for example, if you don't get noticed, okay, then you're not going to get contact. Or, maybe somebody notices you and they don't have contact. But if you make the phone call and you don't violate law, you're making sure that you get the contact. Then from that juncture, it's on the auditor to act respectful, and it's then up to law enforcement how they're going to react. And, all of the people who are criticizing me for doing this, I could have lied about it. I could have lied, even through the FOIA process. I mean, I never told my name. And these people who are saying that they have a FOIA request that says, I said Kyle Stone, bullshit. I can prove otherwise. I have other documentation, other audio things, that can prove that otherwise. And so, I'm owning it, and people aren't liking it. And, they can kiss my swine ass. So the ultimate point I'm trying to make here is that our community, or this First Amendment, movement, it's in trouble because a large percentage of it is based on fraud and dishonesty. And, I know this because I'm in this community. And I understand, Bama guy. But there's a whole thing behind this. Anyway, I'm just trying to understand, why the community just doesn't get it. And there's certain reasons why they don't want to get it, because if the whole entire community got behind me, there would, be some things that they're doing that would be exposed. And so, I feel that through my live chats at night, some people don't like my live chats. They're off the wall. I talked about toilet paper and other things, It's a live chat about, anything can pop up. So if you guys don't like my live chats, if there's, certain things you don't want to talk about, please don't even come in there. Because some weird stuff pops up in there. We talked about hookers and blowjobs. Weird shit pops off in my live chat. And I think that's the vibe I want. But my ultimate point is that if my hardcore supporters, if you guys, truly understand what's at play here, then stick by me. And so, I'm going through a period right now where, I think it's actually good, so that all the fake people, they get out of my channel, so they get away from us, so they can go do whatever they want to do. They can be fake and phony. And so all the hardcore people that are for the First Amendment movement and who are for what I'm trying to accomplish ultimately here, so that police are held accountable and they're retrained, then I want all of you. And if that is 4 of you, or if that's 2 of you, or if that's myself, that's fine. But my ultimate final point, and then I'll let everybody go. I hope everybody has a great day upon all the things that you guys are doing. And also, I hope all the people of my audience and everybody else is safe. But the ultimate point I'm trying to just keep hitting on it and re-hitting on it is, if the so-called big channels, and there's some people behind the scenes that you guys don't even see, who do a lot of, paperwork, and who do a wholesome. These mosquitoes are horrible. They do a lot of research, and they file lawsuits. They do a lot of things behind the scenes that you guys don't even know who they are. I've taught these people, and so it's an organized community. But my point is, though, if all these people who specialize in certain things, like I specialize in, getting out in the field and, going toe-to-toe with these morons. And, I think I have a knack for speaking. I have a actual certain, thing about me that some cops don't like. And so, Bama guy, you're absolutely right. It's not about being famous. And, I don't care about whether I have 30,000 subscribers or 2, as long as I'm acting in the right way. I'm doing it because, hey, I want to be able to point my camera towards a federal building and nothing should happen to me. But, that is naive of me to think that way. But, through going back, lawsuits, getting arrested, then it'll be okay. And so if the community somehow thinks that, doing this movement in deceit and lies and, ostracizing somebody who is just blatantly says, hey, Black Label, that's wrong. Or I say, hey, so-and-so, that's not right. Or, this is the way it needs to be done. And then I didn't kiss the right ass. And I have some weird subscribers. Even weirder than I'm ever, perceived to be. Some weird people, but I love all of you. My point is, though, is that if the community thinks that the way to go about this is being dishonest and being, sneaky and being, just untoward, then I don't want anything a part of that. And so I think what will happen, as you guys will see, is that you will see a splintering effect. You will see all of the individuals who are for this cause. It's going to splinter, and it'll go towards the other channels, who are stay the status quo. Then you'll see other people that are like, well, I don't like where that's going, and they'll come over to us. They'll come over to us. They'll take some time due to the fact, the status quo is a hard thing to actually break. And so something else I'd like to hit on real quickly here is there are certain auditors, I'm not going to name any names, but there are, certain auditors I've been accused of a cop baiting. And, I don't understand how you actually abate a cop due to the fact a cop has specialized training and has guns, qualified immunity, body armor, etc. So I don't understand that way of, okay, well, somehow a guy making a phone call to have them come out and supposedly act correct, or pointing a camera at them is, somehow going to incite violence. Like, that is just craziness. And so the ultimate conclusion on this whole entire thing I'm trying to wrap together, and I know it sounds a little all over the place, is that love me, like me, hate me, I guess if you want to shoot me, or whatever you want or feel about me personally. I'm in this for the First Amendment. And, I think I've also tapped into something upon my live shows, because my live shows, are actually doing really well. It's actually catching on. And I think that's another avenue to this is, I think there is a segment of YouTube that, chooses to go on for an hour, 2 hours, just talk about anything that pops up. If it's some weird shit, then we deal with it. But, I find it hypocritical of the community, as I refer to it, or as it is referred to. So, a lot of people in this community, they really restrict certain people's First Amendment right. And, sometimes I come off as unlikable or arrogant or whatever, but I will not apologize for me being me. And it's very apparent that if my audience or anybody else, if you guys actually watch some big name channels, they will actually bait cops. Like, they will do it in a certain way where, it's just mild baiting, okay? So then the question is that actually baiting? And, I would say no. So then, since I am saying, okay, that certain channels, who will hang around a government, who will hang around government buildings, there's nothing to do with that. He wouldn't give me a direct phone number, and I'm not going to dump my live stream for him. So, again, Fat Label, if you are, and I'm sure you have trolls who are in my subs who will actually see this at some point. If you want to have a conversation, give me a lit. Nobody told me he was fucking waiting for me. So if I would have gotten a text or something from somebody, I would have gone on his show. But, so I want it to be known that every night at 10 o'clock, I'm obligating myself to my audience. So if he wants to have me on at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or something, I could do that. But, I want the appropriate amount of time to speak to the man. And so, okay, so you guys are telling me that he gave me ample opportunity. No, bullshit. I'm not going to kowtow to this fat fuck. Like, I'm not going to do what he says when he wants it. If he wants me on, he needs to be respectful. He needs to actually say, hey, swine repellent, when is good for you? When do you think you'll be able to come on my show? Not say, hey, this is when you're going to be on. So, it's just more of Ben Garcia just trying to dictate. And, if any of Ben Garcia's subs, actually are smart enough to think for themselves and actually, look into how he actually does his business. Well, I don't owe him anything either. And so he wants to be a bitch and, say all these things that are untrue. I don't owe him anything either. I don't have to kiss his ass. That's what he wants. He wants me to bow down, and I'm not doing it. So that's why he's keeping this up, rather than saying, hey, swine, this has gotten out of control. Let's talk about it on the air, off the air. He won't do it. So he wants to keep this up, and I'm good for his channel. I'm good for his brand. And I appeal to a wide audience, good, bad, or indifferent. And, he's making money off of me. And, well, I'm through with him. But here's the reality, though, is he's not actually for the movement. He's for the Ben Garcia movement, and he's not for the actual movement. If he was, he would have, swallowed a little bit of pride. I can swallow my pride. And, let's have that conversation. But he never wants to actually be held accountable. And it sure is amazing that a First Amendment auditor doesn't want to be held accountable. And, Ben's going to be Ben. And, I wish him all the success in the world. But to close this all out, though, I'm not kissing his ass. I'm not kissing anybody else's ass. And I'm going to do my own thing. And, we'll see where it goes. And if people want to leave at any time, unsubscribe, I don't care. And so the reality is this movement is, how am I making money off of him? I haven't made a dime off of Ben Garcia. Ben Garcia, he makes a living off of... He makes a living. He doesn't produce anything. He's not an auditor. He doesn't make anything. He just replays other auditors all their content. So, like, dude, Ben Garcia, he's a hack. He couldn't actually go out and fucking audit. Like, here's the reality about him, okay? He's created a great channel, okay? He's done it through hard work, okay? I mean, besmirch him for actually, putting his heart and soul into his channel. Okay, it's a great channel. And so I subscribe to him. I think you're not understanding the point. I would rather have 2 subscribers and actually be honest about what I'm doing rather than being a big, fat, ugly fucking phony. So anyway... I don't care about the subs. The subs doesn't matter. I could have, 0 subs and I would still be okay with that. It's not about that. It's about the First Amendment. And so it's very apparent that if individuals like myself, if we do not kiss his fat ass, then we are ostracized as, oh, you're a cot baiter, and just all this nonsense. I mean, so the reality is this. That's incorrect. That's not correct. Noman is, I patched things up with him, but, Noman is Noman, and Noman was aware of it, and, Noman can tell you anything, but, I have nothing to lie about, and so I'm going to leave the Noman situation, alone. But my ultimate point is, if this community wants actual change, then everybody is going to be here for another 1,000 years, and everybody will die, and then the kids will get involved. And all my point is that if the movement ever wants to keep moving in the positive direction, then it needs honesty. And Ben Garcia, all due respect to the people who like him as a person, I like his channel, I hate him as a person, he's the wrong one to lead this. I mean, he's about the Ben Garcia movement, and there are some others, who are about their movement. But, I'm for the First Amendment, and whether I have, 5,000 subs or I have 0, I'm okay with that, because I know at the end of the day, I'm doing my channel, how big or how small, I'm doing it a service for being honest. You may disagree with me, that's fine. I don't care. I'm not here to win popularity contests. I'm here to do the best job I can. I'm here to, at times, give my audience, entertainment. I'm here to, I'm here to please you. And if, you as my subscribers, don't like me, please. And I'll say this again until maybe I'm down to like 0 subscribers, then I can go back to my life and not do this YouTube thing anymore, is that if you don't like the content, please leave. And so I don't even know why I'm still on this live. I just wanted to do about a 2-minute video, and then here we go. But I didn't put anybody's lives at risk, okay? So if you guys stop listening to Ben Garcia so you can actually listen to the truth here, then we'll get along, okay? At no time did I put anybody's actual life in danger. Well, ma'am, is he has a bigger channel. He has a lot larger platform. So he can rant and rave for 5 minutes and it gets everywhere. You know, I have to actually go and go and go and go for it to, you know, halfway filter around. So he just bullies people. So anyway, my ultimate point is, if this community thinks that it's going in the positive direction, you can think that, and that's fine. But by the leaders of this, Ben Garcia and some others, who they want to do it their way, and they think there's only, you know, one way to audit. You know, you guys are going to be waiting for ultimate change for, I mean, never will happen, because Ben Garcia and others are just, he is just as dishonest as the cops that we're trying to educate and correct. And so, you know, this is my last final video on this. You know, I'm moving in a different direction, and he can continue to lie to his audience. He can continue to actually continue to lie to people, and you know, that's fine. And so just one closing point to actually kind of, you know, let you guys understand that I'm actually talking the truth and not just speaking the truth. I'm actually, you know, talking the truth. Ben made some comments about my arrest in Porter County on his live, and you know, he totally did a hatchet job. He totally did a hatchet job on that, because he took the report in the Northwest Indiana Times as fact. And I read the article, and I mean, the reporter did a total hatchet job on that. I'm gonna have to talk to this guy, because he needs to be actual fired and needs to go do something else with his time. But there was no trespassing sign. There was no signs, period. And so when all the video comes out, I mean, I'll be exonerated and I'll start my civil and we'll go from there. But like, you know, Ben Garcia, he's just irresponsible. I mean, I would love at some point for somebody to help me, I mean, really compile all of the content that Ben Garcia has done on me and just really go through it, every aspect, and I'll show you where he blatantly just lies about things or just misconstrues things, because Ben Garcia, I'll say it again until somebody puts his fat ass in prison, he is a governmental agent working for a governmental agency such as the CIA. And so I'll say that. I'll say it proud. You call me crazy. That's fine. But if you notice, there is about 6 people, 6 big channels, and some other people that you guys don't know about, who really control this movement. And they control everything there is. And fucking all of them. All of them are governmental agents. And, you know, all I had to say is, if I wouldn't say you guys are all CIA. All I'm saying is that if this community really puts its trust in Ben Garcia and others, you guys are gonna, you know, get led down a path that is gonna be unpleasant, and you guys are never gonna get this change. So the ultimate final point, and then I'm gonna go, is that if you want truth and honesty, and you want to know what's truly going on in this movement, if you truly want to be informed and at times be I guess weirded out, or you know, have your mind think in a different way, or just flat out just laugh, you know, then come over here. If you want the same nonsensical, you know, lies and crap, you know, please go over to Black Label and, you know, get your content force-fed there, and he'll lie to you, and he'll tell you how he's always right. He'll tell you how I'm wrong, and he will tell you how he's right in his version of events. So anyway, I've said enough. And the ultimate point I'm trying to wrap here into this is that I just want, if all of you take one thing out of all my videos, just one thing, okay, is think for yourself. And I want you guys to start asking questions. If, something on Black Label's channel doesn't look right, man, call that fat fucker out and say, hey, Ben, that doesn't look right to us. I want you to explain yourselves. So then after he gives you a bullshit answer, keep on him. See, here's the reality. Ben is here for money. And, Ben has made it very clear that he's here to make money. So then that's a conflict of interest. If he's here to solely make money, then how's he here for the movement? See, he's here for the Ben Garcia movement. And it is really, I haven't made one dime off of this. I haven't made one dime. So how am I actually doing anything wrong? And so how is my content? Well, so I think you should block me, Sasquatch. Please leave. Get out of here. Go. See you later. But I want to know how my content isn't right. If you disagree with it, okay, fine, tell me, and we'll have that conversation. But, I'm not going to lie to you. And so obviously, a lot of the people on here, who are arguing with me, and I don't care about being argued with, I want to have an intellectual argument, and I'm, arguing with individuals on here who had the mentality of a retarded 5-year-old. And so you can't talk to somebody like that. And so, they're always right, I'm always wrong. And so the simple way to hash that out is, if nobody chooses to have a conversation, like Ben, he won't give me a direct number. So it's the same nonsensical crap with that fat bastard. And so then he says, oh, well, swine, I give you an opportunity. No, I want an opportunity on my time frame, not his. And so he needs to show a little bit of respect. I'm not going to kiss his fat ass. That's what he wants. See, here's the reality, folks. Let's say I do a live here this morning, and I say, you know what? Hey, Ben Garcia, you know what? Everybody, I was wrong for calling the police. Dude, all of this shit would go away. That's exactly what they want. They want me to get on my knees. They want me to pucker up. They want me to kiss his freaking ass. That's what they want. They will not get it, and I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to create, something on YouTube that has not been done before. And if you guys want to stay with me, feel free. And if you guys feel that what I'm doing does not meet your standards or morality, please leave, and, I'll attract a new audience. But, I'm actually glad this is happening, because it's weeding out all of my subscribers, who are weak, who are puppets, who follow these people who are going to guide them to where they want them to go. I want my audience to actually, I'll present it in such a way where I want you guys to make the ultimate choice. I want you guys to be informed of, okay, well, is it this way? Is it that way? I want to present the information so that my audience has an opportunity to make an informed choice or decision, or not to do anything. But it's very apparent that the fatty who resides in the Northeast there, wants to say, okay, well, here's how it is because I am Ben Garcia. And so he's gotten so big and so YouTube famous, that he thinks, he can bully people and he can just go on and on and on. And then so because he's going on and on and on, so then I have to go on and on and on because I'm not going to be punked. And so we just go on and on and on and on, on and on and on and on and on, round and round in just a Ben Garcia created shitstorm that he creates because I'm Ben Garcia. I have a neck problem. I'm Ben Garcia. And so he just keeps doing this shit. And so individuals like myself to say, hey, Ben, that's not right. How about we have a conversation? Oh, no. Ben Garcia's phone number is top secret information. It's top secret. Nobody but certain individuals can have his phone number. It's top secret. Dude, anybody in this community who wants my phone number, have my phone number, have my email. Like, I have nothing to hide. So it says something about this fat fuck who actually, has things that he doesn't want out there. And, when some things get discovered about Mr. Garcia that, I'm working into, and I'll compile, some videos and some other things I'm working on, he's not a pleasant guy. He has a past, that is unpleasant. I am, open about my past. I've been arrested, convicted for this, that, I'm honest about it, He has some skeletons in his fat closet, that he doesn't want out. So the modus operandi is, okay, so we see this swine guy who's starting to gain some momentum. So, well, wait a minute. He disagrees with us, so we're going to squash him. So that's what's trying to be done now. And, I just want everybody to know, well, I was popped fucking, it's been a long time, like 12, 13 years ago. And so that's a whole different discussion. All I'm saying, God, I gotta shut up, is all I'm saying here, folks, is really ask a lot of questions upon all these channels. Hell, I want you guys to question me. And so if there's something I'm not doing right, say, hey, swine, man, I want to talk to you about this, or I need your email address. I'm open, I'm accessible. I want my viewers or anybody who has a problem with me, dude, call me, talk to me. I mean, but the Ben Garcia movement, though, he will not actually do anything productive. And, I know some of my audience thinks I'm done. Hey there, News Now, didn't get the last there, hey, bud. But, I will not stop calling the cops on myself. I will not stop doing it. I think the calling, God, I sound so redundant here, man, is I think calling the cops on oneself as an auditor is, a responsibility and the best way to get a full audit. So, the 99% of the community publicly says, well, I'm wrong. But then there are some people, who privately say, hey, I agree with you, but they don't want to actually be anywhere near me publicly because I'm just being ostracized. So anyway, well, Irate Productions, I ask for freedom. I ask to point my camera at any building I want and not have cops come and actually violate my rights. So if the cops come, or if I call the cops, I just want them to be respectful and respect my rights. So, I do understand. It's just, that I'm not going to kiss a certain ass. And so, I think I am not important. I think that, I think God is important. And, I think that if people choose to listen to me, great. If they, it absolutely is about kissing ass because that's what Ben Garcia wants. And so I'm not going to do it. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. And just be weary of certain channels how they conduct their channel, how, you know, they will tell you only the side of the story that they want you to hear, and actually ask questions. This video, you'll have to watch from the actual start, but this video is basically on, you know, how the community, this First Amendment auditing community is led by about 6 people, and, you know, if the puppets actually continue to follow these 6 people, then there will never be any actual movement, because these 6 people, I mean, they're basically out for themselves. I mean, there's one that is blatantly out for themselves, Ben Garcia, and there are others, you know, who, you know, are out for themselves, but, you know, it's shh, we're not out for ourselves. And so Swine says, you know, I'm out for the First Amendment, and if people choose to subscribe, or if I can make a few